Welcome to Live with Elder Kabeer, where we are reminded to be faithful in the little. I am the voice behind the scenes, Deacon David. Today we have an encouraging show for you. Please watch till the end, and we hope you are blessed by this live stream.
All right, glory, glory, hallelujah, shalom, shalom, saints. Let's do a sound check here. I hope everybody can just kind of make sure that we sound good. Just want to thank everybody for being here for this live stream. I've been off for almost 2 weeks, I believe, 2 weeks. So I'm glad to be back in the saddle. Just want to give all praise to the Most High Yah. And I sincerely mean that. I know we say that all the time, and it can become repetitive. It's a true statement. I'm looking forward to this live stream. Want to share some things that happened the past 2 weeks. Just the contrast of being in the so-called cult and Christianity. And just want to share that with you today. But like I said, I just want to give all praise to the Most High Yah. I'm thankful for our shepherd, Pastor Charles Dow Jr., an amazing pastor. He's been leading the charge for a very long time, and I'm just thankful that Yah has led me to this beautiful ministry called Straightway Truth Ministry, and I've been fortunate to be, and I humbly, but fortunately to be a elder at Straightway Truth Ministry. So anyway, looking forward to a good show here, and I'm going to hand it back over to Deacon David.
Yeah, Elder. Actually, we've been gone for 3 weeks actually. So this is, but I mean, you obviously there's been the content still coming out within those 3 weeks. So you looks like you've been on vacation. Looks like you got a tan. You look like you well rested, or where you been, Elder? What's going on, man? Where you been at?
So if I was to go back 3 weeks, so we had a leadership meeting here. We was very fortunate to host the 2023 Roman calendar year, the leadership meeting again. Um, we had all of the some of the community heads, a lot of the elders. We had some teachers, pastors here, and it's always a joy to be able to host. Um, these just do anything for Straightway Truth Ministry, but we got to host a leadership meeting, and just being around is like a small little feast here.
Oh yeah.
During that time, we had some heavy lifting to do because we were here to meet about the affairs and business of Straightway Truth Ministry and the things that are going on, especially during this dead season, and it was heavy. It was very heavy. Uh, it gave you a lot of appreciation for our shepherd, Pastor Dow, Elder Rufus, just some of the things that they have had to do and carry out during this dead season. Man, they got some big shoulders, but man, I just felt compelled that I want to help out. I want to help and carry some of the load that these men, the Becker, was here. Um, anyway, I mean, you were there, Deacon. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No, it was great. I mean, it was a great time of fellowship, first and foremost, and like you said, it was definitely an honor to be here to host and just create an environment the way that you've taught us here in this community, where the elders can come here and enjoy themselves. Obviously, it's for many reasons to deal with the situations as the ministry is growing. We're having to deal with different and new judgments slash decision making as the community as the ministry grows. There's more communities that are coming forth too, so it's just a lot of moving parts. So it's a good time for how you've set it up and how pastor set it up for everybody to come here and get on one mind, one accord, right?
yeah.
And so I know pastor joked about it, but he did say it was going to triple or double. It seems to get bigger every year. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like for the next years moving forward, but hey, y'all willing that everything goes well and we're still
Yeah.
there to partake.
So, guys, we had an amazing time. Like I said, we got to fellowship, had great at this same leadership meeting. We were honored to be able to see in real time one of our sister, now Mother Chris.
Hallelujah. That's right.
She was ordained or recognized as a mother in Israel at Straightway Truth Ministry. Well deserving. I've known Mother Chris for a long time. Me and her husband played, which you guys know as Pastor Daniel Muir. We played ball together at the Green Bay Packers. And I know Mother Chris, we fellowship. I even think she did a little Bible study with my ex-wife. So, but anyway, it was just, I'm just so proud of her, well-deserving. She is a wise woman because she's led by a wise man in Pastor Daniel Muir. And you can see the work that Pastor Muir has done in his woman. Matter of fact, on our channel here, we did put her interview that she did on Sister to Sister. We put that on. Please check out that interview. It's powerful, very powerful. You seen a woman who was in the NFL.
Yeah.
It was amongst other women that are NFL. And if you know the NFL culture, especially the women, it is very vain. It's very shallow. It's all about it's all about the bling bling. It's all about what you're wearing. And for Mother Chris to be able to come out of all that and to follow her husband when her husband, her master, was called to this amazing to the truth, she followed. I remember when she first came here, when I came into the truth, they came and check on me, making sure that I didn't go cuckoo crazy. But she came with jeans, no head covering, but she came. She asked for a head wrap, and she looked, and she was just blown away. I remember when she went to, I think it was Passover, if I'm not mistaken. She went to the Passover. They were not prepared for being at the feast. They had a cheap ass tent. I don't know what they had. I don't know what Pastor Beer had at the time, but he had a tent that just wasn't holding up. I mean, it was raining.
Yeah, that's usually the initiation for
that's initiation. So
I'm gotta struggle a little bit. You gotta struggle a little bit.
Their tent is full of water. I think they had to sleep in their car, and I'm thinking, oh, it's over. They're done. And I remember Mother Chris sticking her head out of the tent. I don't know what it was, but I was looking because they were kind of across from me. And she was just saying, this is just a beautiful ministry. She said, I can see why people love this man. Like, she was in awe. Like I'm talking about, it wasn't like being at a 5 Diamond hotel or at some type of NFL event. This woman was in the rain. It was mucky, nasty. And she had a long night, cold. She's trying to figure it out. And she still was in awe. And she kept coming back year in and year out with her master. And so, like I said,
great example. Yeah, exactly.
Well deserving. So to see her to be a mother in Israel.
Let's give her a quick shout out. Bless you, Mother Muir and Pastor Muir.
Hey, man.
Gotta throw that in there real quick.
So. Hallelujah! Hey, see, guys, we our technology is going up here. So anyway, so Mother Chris now is a mother in Israel. So we was able to see that. It felt like it was fast because I know Pastor normally comes in a little bit earlier, but he came in on a Thursday and left on the Monday. We got to watch the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Believe it or not, can you guys believe that? Here at the cult, we watched the Super Bowl. We had the Kansas City Chiefs and we had the Philadelphia Eagles. And
Elder, I was looking at your Facebook during that time, so I don't know what was going on. There was a lot of division, I don't know what was going on.
It had Pastor Corey Phillips. He was here.
Peer pressured.
KC. So obviously they were rooting for Kansas City. You know, my woman, Sister Bree. She from KC, so she was rooting for KC. Now, guys, you know I'm all about relationships, right? And so I felt,
please explain.
In the 5 years, I felt for the most part, my woman has been walking with me, been abiding in me. But when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs and There's division in the house of Kabeer. So please pray. Pray. I need counseling. I need help on how to get this thing rectified. I got my son running around with a Kansas City Chief jersey with Mahomes on there. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
You were wearing a Philadelphia Eagles
Man,
jersey.
I had to go get my Philadelphia Eagles.
And you had your name on it.
I have my name because I was being recruited, I guess, by the Philadelphia Eagles. They're trying to court me and try to get me to sign with them. So they made me a nice little jersey in hopes that just showing the love, and they were trying to love bomb me like Straightway's accused of. They were trying to love bomb me, but I ended up staying with the Green Bay Packers. But I did keep that jersey. I did keep the jersey, and I finally was able to put it to use during the Super Bowl, and I was rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they lost. What's so crazy? The guy that was actually courting me was a coach he's actually the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. So I can't think of his name right now. Why can I not think?
What was his name?
What is his name?
Let me look it up.
Oh my goodness, how do I forget? Hold on. I'm gonna get
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid was the coach of the Philadelphia.
I did Google it, so it didn't come up in my mind.
Andy Reid. I don't know why, guys, you can see, man. I mean, I don't think about football like I used to. So I only watch football once a year, and it's usually during the Super Bowl. So anyway, but other than that, Bree has been good. She's been growing tremendously. I'm so proud of her. She is growing, and I'm looking forward to see her continue to mature in this walk, and it's good. It's some good stuff happening in the house of Kabeer. So, anyway,
she's got a good head of house to lead her in the right way. So hallelujah.
Yeah, it's so interesting, guys, and we just kind of free flowing here because I'm just trying to give you a recap of what's happening. But I want to show you guys the difference between the so-called cult and Christianity, because I got to spend a lot of time with the saints here here on the lands of Wisconsin. Then I had to go to Tennessee. But let me tell you, there was a obviously us hosting the feast. You guys know how we do it, Elder Deacon. We try to do everything as if we're doing it for Yeshua HaMashiach himself, Jesus the Christ. We try to do everything at a high level. I don't even care if it's about the bathrooms, all the way down to the bed, all the way down to the spoon, the fork.
I remember one of the things that you first told us is we do things at first class, and Israel deserves that because we're royalty, right?
Yeah, big time. We are royalty. So this year, guys, believe it or not, I thought by far of all of the hosting that we have ever done, this has by far had to be one of the best performed. And guys, I already set the standard, I already push it here, but Bree did such a great, and with the rest of the sisters, they did an amazing job, and all of the volunteers, all the people who came from Mother Carol and Mama Nelly and all the sisters. I think it was sister. I can't remember. All the head of communities, sisters who came, they all helped out. So if I try to name everybody, I may miss somebody. So, but everybody came out. But Bree did a great job in leading that and making sure everything was up to the standard that I pushed for. And she actually got a huge compliment. Actually, it was amazing because I was thinking about as the husband, right? As the leader of this community, somebody reached out to her, another sister from another community reached out to her to just say that, hey, one of our lead head of community or assembly was up there for the leadership meeting, and he was very impressed on how well the sisters were working well together. And she was just calling Sister Bree and just asking her, can you please tell us what are some of the things you do? Because we would love to kind of have that same type of work ethic or spirit that you guys have, that the way you guys work together, to have it here where we're at. And so, Bree kind of showed me on Marco Polo, the sister that asked that. And so I looked at Bree's response, and Bree, the first thing she says that, my master, he pushed for a high standard. This is what he do. Everything we do is unto Jesus. even if you're cleaning the bathrooms, this is how we operate. And then she went in to talk about the means of how to get that accomplished and everything. And what made me proud was like, wow, she could have easily taken the glory. She could have easily absorbed all of that and just say, yeah, I just do such a good job. But she gave me the credit that I deserve. I mean,
She honored you.
yeah. She honored me. She praised me in that, and it made me proud. Now, why am I saying this? You guys think like, man, Kabeer's all into himself. No, what made me proud was I was thinking to myself, like, wow, because I remember when I was in Christianity. Now, this is the contrast. I'm just noticing the contrast. When I was in Christianity and we would have events like this or something, similar to this stuff. I remember, the woman I was with before, she would take that on. And it used to make me feel a certain way. Like, wait a minute. You didn't even want to do this. And now you're getting all this praise because of a good event, the way the event carried itself. And most is me running around trying to make sure it's happening. It's me running around doing nuance. Call me if you need a towel. I was running around doing all of that stuff. And my wife at the time would take on that thing. And I said, man, you stole my glory. And I thought, maybe because I was in Christianity, maybe I'm wrong for feeling that way, whatever. But I'm just trying to tell you, that's the contra. But then when Bree did what she did, it made me proud. And then guess what, Deacon? All of a sudden, it just made me start thinking like, man, when we give all praise and all glory to the Most High Yah, I wonder if that's how he feels. When we give him his due credit, this is earned, his credit for all the good things that has happened to us from just being able to be healthy, the fact that we have strength, the fact that we're able to have resources and just different things, this community, waking up this morning, being when I travel and I come back home safely, just to give him all the praise. Everything that I have that is good, this being a part of Straightway Truth Ministry, I give all praise. So when I say I give all praise to the Most High, I'm so sincere in that, because I would not be here if Yah did not open up my eyes, my understanding, and gave me a pastor according to his heart in Pastor Dow. And so anyway, it made me proud, and I hope I make Yah smile down on me as he hears me give him all the praise, because man, I am so thankful what he did for me in 2017 when he gave me that dream, when he said that he would test me, and when he told me we will see how much you love me. It says, and I'm glad I overcame. So I want to encourage you guys. Some of you guys may be hearing this for the first time. Some of you guys may have already overcome and you're in another stage. But guys, I'm telling you, Yah is real. Yah is real. And I want to share how he's so real, because I saw it this past 3 weeks being with Straightway Truth Ministry and all of the leaders that was there. And I think it was only probably some deacons that was missing at that meeting, but it was just an amazing contrast. So then from there, I went on to go I had to go to a wedding at Straightway Truth Ministry in Tennessee. So we had to go on Tennessee land, on the land of Tennessee at the hub at Straightway Truth Ministry. And once again, Pastor Dow did another wedding. Virgins. I mean, Deacon, do you remember these many virgin marriages when you were in Christianity? I know your woman was a virgin, but I don't remember this stuff. I don't even think people even made big deals about this. It's so unheard. It's so unheard of in this modern time.
I mean, if they did, it wasn't it wasn't pronounced. It wasn't put in a level to be glorified and to be honored for something for young women to shoot for. If it was, but yeah, I mean, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. So I got to go there for our dearly beloved, our brother Lee, and his woman Nadia, sister Nadia. They got wedded. They tied a knot here, not in the state of Tennessee, no, all under Yeshua HaMashiach, but it was beautiful. I was glad to be invited. I was invited. I did ask Sister Nadia, with the permission of her now husband, Brother Lee, if it was okay to still get some of those cookies that she be making me from time to time. So anyway,
I remember that. Yeah.
I don't have access to it like I once had, but now, I'm just going through the head. And she said that she still can make cookies from time to time. So hallelujah. I didn't lose, but we didn't lose anything. We've gained. And now they're going to be able to multiply that and be fruitful.
That's
And
it.
so it's going to be good to see that. That's a good brother Lee. Man, I was just so excited to be there. And once again, just see the Saints. It was another small feast, a wedding feast. And then I was like saying, hey man, I saw you, because a lot of the leaders was there again. So a lot of leaders traveled and got there. I mean, and we have to understand all these different communities are all different locations. We were all over the United States. And for us to come back and to be able to support this, that's how important this was, that we had to be there. It was a short turnaround, literally a short turnaround. I think Saints were leaving. I had one day, boom, had it packed for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I had a pack to get to Tennessee. And then, so we had a beautiful time there. Did some work there as an elder. That was some work there. But anyway, so I'm just being immersed with all my brothers and sisters and being at Straightway Truth Ministry. Then, had to do some stuff there. Then I had to go to Florida. I went to Florida now. I got to admit, Florida had nicer weather than both places. Wisconsin don't have the best weather. Tennessee was kind of there. But then when we got to Florida, it was straight sunny, nice sunny. I think it was in the 80 degrees. It was nice, beautiful. But even though the place was nice, the weather was nice. But when I got to the Christian conference, now people want to know, I am a certified financial planner, means certified financial planner, is a CFP. I am a CFP. Very few people hold that title. I've been fortunate, especially people who look like me do not have that. You can see right here, this is the conference right here. We had over 2,000 this year. This is probably one of the largest conference. I've been going to this conference since 2017, and it has grown. We're not even at the same hotel that we started off. So it has grown to over 2,000. And they bring in top Christian speakers and things of that nature. So what it is I got into this thing to be an advisor. You can go the secular route, you can go the Christian route, because they have this, and the certified financial planner, which is secular. It's just a designation that you can put behind your name, just like an MD or a CPA and things of that nature. So I'm a CFP. So I get to actually hold the title CFP. You can't just hold that. It's a trademark. But yeah, so I went in and went to the conference just to get my, what they call continuing education, sometimes referred to as CE. CE means continuing education. So I'm supposed to get 30 hours in the course of 2 years of continuing education to be able to maintain my my designation as a certified financial planner. So I was able to get 5 hours at this event. I could potentially get 8, but I always leave a day early. I don't get to do that Friday because I like to be back home for the Shabbat. And so I was on an early flight back home to Green Bay. And so I was not able to pick up those 3, but it was good to go because of this reason, not because of the necessary. I learned some stuff, but what I learned the most was the difference between us and them. The difference between the so-called cult and Christians. Now, guys, you have to understand, this is like the top Christian. This is a big Christian organization now. This is very big, well-respected. They bring in some of the great speakers. Now, I got to admit, now, the more I think about it, not everybody at this conference necessarily are like, I don't think they're believers. But there's a lot of believers of Christianity. When I say believers, I mean Christian believers. And I remember a time there was a situation where I'm trying to get to a class or get to one of the breakout session. And one of the speakers, not one of the speakers, one of the attendants like myself was saying, hey, let's go to the pool. Let's go to the pool and let's, go hang out. and go swimming or whatever. I said, bro, I got class. I gotta get my hour in. He said, oh, just give them your stuff and they can just kind of tag it for you. Get somebody to get in. You just go. So I said, bro, man, I got to get in here. I know what you're talking about. And so I started trying to share the gospel with him, but he wasn't trying to hear it. He eventually left. And but Deacon, there was a situation I was telling you. I think I called you after this stuff. I took a picture. Did I ever share that picture with you? I know you're looking at some old pictures here, but there was over 2,000 people there. And you know what was amazing? During their praise and worship, man, there was over 2,000 heads in there, right? And I'm tall enough to be able to see across the sea of people. It felt like a sea of people. And I'm looking there, and there were probably maybe one or two hands up. And they were singing beautiful. You know, they had the nice tune, the nice light, the nice smoke. I don't know if there was smoke, but it was really nice scenery. You know, they had the light in the back. I mean, it was just beautiful. It was lit up like a show. And everybody just stood there like this. You know, moving their, I think they were moving their lips because I was seeing a lot of the back of their heads. But I think, I don't even know if they were bobbing their heads. But they, but I was just like this picture right here. That's what they were looking like for praise and worship. Deacon.
Yeah.
They were looking just like that. Do they look like praise and worship right now?
It doesn't look like straightway.
No, but does that picture that you showed me, does that look like praise and worship right now?
Oh no.
Describe what it looks like to you.
Dead.
Dead. It looked like people just sitting there just looking, right? That's exactly what they look like for praise and worship.
The crazy part, the world probably has more passion when it comes to secular concerts.
Yes. And so I actually went to one because I thought it was it was the first night where they were just kind of welcoming all the people and everything. And so I went there and I was just like them too. I was looking too. I wasn't sitting there dancing. Now I remember the first year when I came into the truth and I went to that conference, I was trying to praise and I was in there doing it just myself. And then I said, I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel right because I knew that they weren't praising the Most High. They were praising something else. And so I didn't show up to all those stuff. I just showed up and did my CE. Anything that had CE on there, that's what I showed up to. I got to hang out with some of the people I work with in the business. And that was it. But it was just a drastic difference from the leadership meeting, from the wedding, and then coming here where I used to come and I was excited to come. And I was thinking like, wow, it's dead. Like I have no desire to be a part of Christianity. Like, and I'm talking about, I'm going to some of the best speakers and some of the what they call it, what they call those names, like, you know how they have all these acts,
Headliners,
Headliners. I'm talking, they had headline speakers. Julio, I can't deal. Man, I can't pronounce the name anymore. Guys, I literally stayed in my room mostly. I stayed in my room, read the word, talked on the phone with some of my brothers or deacons. And but it was dead. I was just so blown away how dead. I'm like, wow, either I'm just becoming more alive, because I remember thought there was hope. I saw no hope. And I won't say much because I don't want to give it away because I want to be respectful. But I did have there was a situation. I'll share two situations that happened as a financial advisor. So there was a situation where it was a breakout session, and they were actually trying to educate us as financial advisors that when you're dealing with a couple, so when you're usually dealing with a husband and a wife, you know, you want to hear what the husband have to say, and usually he's the breadwinner, and then you want to hear what the wife has to say. Mm-hmm. And that's how they teach you in secular world, right? Listen to what they have to say. Now, let's say the man is very dominant and he's talking, and the woman is kind of off to the side, really not participating. They try to train us on how to get the woman to kind of speak up and how to kind of tell the man, like, hey, let's hear what she has to say. You know, you guys are one. We got to hear what she has to say, because what she has to say is important. And I remember that, and, you know, after they said that, they said, does anybody have any questions? And you know me, I was the first one to raise my hand. And I was in the back, and they said me. I said, okay, I just want to understand if I'm hearing this right. We're called, you know, Kingdom Advisors, right? And I told them I have a couple. I have like genuine clients who are very one in the way they walk. The man is the head, the woman is submitted to that man. And I told him, I remember one time doing the same thing that we've been trained in this industry is to ask the man and then find out with the woman. I remember dealing with a woman and she says, "Oh, whatever he desires. I like whatever my husband, whatever he wants to do, I want to do." I said, I know, but what do you want to do? I know what your husband, but what do you want to do? And she kept on nicely and respectfully kept on saying, "I want to do whatever my husband wants to do." And I remember catching myself as a divide, thinking like, "Oh, my bad. Is this what it looks like when two walk together and agree?" And I'm thinking to myself, this is beautiful. This is like the wife's desires unto her husband. And I'm thinking to myself, this is beautiful. So I asked him, are you telling us that we as advisors should try to split the agreement that the husband and wife have just to get her opinion, but she doesn't want to give her opinion? And the guy says, that is a very good question. And he was stumped. He was stumped by the question. And the moderator, which was a female, may I say that again? A woman, she said, "Well, it's a difference if she says, well, whatever he wants." I said, "Ma'am, it wasn't said that way." The woman genuinely wanted to be in agreement with her husband. She said, "Well, that's rare." I mean, they literally expect that when they deal with clients, they expect them to be divided, Deacon, completely divided. And Amos 3, what does it say in Amos chapter 3, verse 3? It says, can two walk together unless they what? Agree. And so I just asked a simple question, and then everybody else kind of asked, see, look, it says right here, can two walk together except they be agreed? And so when I was done, we went into our breaks, and people start coming up to me and say, "Hey, are you that guy that asked that question?" He said, "That was a very good question." Few people were drawn to me thinking like, that was a very good question. I run into that because we're supposedly kingdom advisors, Christians. And they were trying to like, how do we deal with that if the Bible says that the man is the head, but now we're trying to get the woman's opinion? What are we doing here?
That's interesting because it makes me think that if they're preparing for a divided conversation, what does that tell you about what Christianity pushes in a marriage? Because I'm assuming that they have a large amount of their clients being Christians.
Oh, yeah. They try to get, because a lot of their clients comes from the church that they go to, church events. It could be the schools and stuff like that. So, yeah. And it could be secular, but we were talking about if we're trying to redeem money and we're trying to, push, the cause of Christ, how do we do this in a Christ-like manner? And so I just brought it up. I just thought it was I just said, I got to hear how they're going to answer that. But their answer was so unbiblical. It was unbiblical. But hey, right there, I'm just there to get my little hour. That's it. Check in, check out. But people came up to me at the conference and told me, I mean, how many people come up to you and say, "Man, that was a great question"? And my question, the way I described it was not that long. I just asked a simple question. How far do we need to push the clients to divide them? That's what I said. Yeah. How much do we need to push to get the woman's opinion that's different from her husband? Yeah. If we're called kingdom advisors.
And I think the people that maybe came up to you are starting to maybe notice that, unfortunately, Christianity doesn't have the answers that they're looking for.
And bro, there was another situation. A brother came up to me, I won't say any names, but he came up to me and he was talking about he was dealing with a lot of stuff. And he's been dealing with this for a long time. And just really with his mind and everything like that. And so I'm here talking to him, and we was really getting into a good discussion. I was giving him answers. I told him, "Man, you need deliverance. That's what you need. You need truth. Have you ever been delivered? When you read the word, do you read to yourself or do you just read it out loud so you can hear?" He says, "I read to myself." I said, "That's the problem. You don't read, you don't hear. Faith comes by hearing. It's very important that you hear the words coming out of your mouth so your ears hear your words, because a lot of time people hear all these negative thoughts that Satan puts in your mind, and it's in your voice. And people, instead of casting it down, speaking life, rebuking those thoughts, they just sit there and just let it sit there and simmer. And then they kind of just because of their what they say. If you go to Numbers chapter 30, right?
Okay. Yep.
Go to Numbers chapter 30. I'm gonna tell you, this is what happens when you have thoughts submitted to your mind, when you have thoughts submitted to your mind and you don't say anything. When you don't say anything to it, when you don't cast it down, it's like you're literally in agreement. Your lack of saying anything is meaning that you're in agreement. Look at this one. It says right here, if a woman, you read that while I'm putting my thoughts together here.
If a woman also vow a vow unto Yah and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow and her bond wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand.
See, listen to what it says right there. If the father should hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand. So when you hear these thoughts being submitted to you and you're not casting those thoughts down, every thought in the obedience of Christ, if it's not coming into obedience of Christ and you're not casting those things down, that means it's like it stands. It doesn't move because you're not disagreeing with it. You're not rebuking it. You're not casting it down. You're literally having these thoughts just simmer there. It's the same time when Yeshua, and we're going to keep reading here. It's the same thing when Peter told Yeshua that may it never be. He could have sit there and says, yeah, may it never be that I go die and be persecuted. And what he says, Satan, get behind me, for you don't care about the things of Yah, but the things of man. He rebuked it immediately. And Peter just kept his mouth shut because he was being used by Satan to try to put something in Jesus' mind. And Jesus immediately rebuked it. And so many times people have all these negative thoughts because of things that may have happened to them when they were growing up as children or even just as adults. And all these stuff has been submitted to them and they never do it. They just live a passive, very passive life. And they just sit there and just let it. Well, I guess if I think it, I must be so. Just like Pastor was talking about. As a man, he was talking about the way we think. The word says a man think it so. What it says is a man think it.
So is he.
So is he. And so you got to rebuke that. So anyway, I was talking to this one guy, but read to the, but if the father, read it? Look what he had to do. Look what the father has to do with the woman. Read.
But if the father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand.
So the father had to what? Disallow it. Right?
And Yah shall forgive her because her father disallowed her.
There you have it. So you got to disallow it. You got to kind of forbid it. And then Yah won't, and then that won't become a part. So I'm here telling this guy, and then it goes on and says the same thing for the husband. We don't have to keep reading that, but I just want to just show you the power of us, the authority that we have. You can't just let these negative thoughts and don't check it. You got to check these thoughts. If you don't, it's just going to continue to simmer and get bigger and bigger, and it's going to become a huge mountain. And it's going to feel like, man, this is just who I am. This is how this is it. There's nothing. There's no hope. And so I'm here talking to this brother, and we were having a deep discussion. And you know how Satan works, right? You have all these people. Hey, Johnny. And his name is not Johnny. I'm making that name up. Hey, Johnny. Hey, you wanna come? He said, no, I'm good. I'll catch up with you guys later. Are you sure? Because everybody know when Kabeer,
are you safe? Are you safe?
Like they think like, hey, when Kabeer starts talking, hey, maybe he said, I'm good, guys. This
maybe
dude
he had a safe word.
He told his Christian friends, I'm good. Because he says, what you're talking about, Kabeer, I need to hear this. This is what I need. Guys, I wish I could tell you more, but I want just out of confidentiality, this guy was dealing with stuff. This is a man that he's a well-to-do man, has a good job and everything. And this man has been struggling with this for all that he can remember. And I'm telling you, he needs deliverance. He needs to be able to, get that, start checking that stuff, start reading the word out loud. Don't read to yourself, read it out loud. And so we started. So then I said, well, I'm heading back to the to my room. I was gonna be heading back to my room. He followed me, and we was talking the whole time. And it was a long hallway. We walked, and people were trying to hey, he said, I'm good, guys. Let's if oh, okay, shit. I guess Kabeer got him. We got him one, you know, and because why? Because he went to a conference. They're talking. They give you all the problems, and then they end on, "Thank God that Jesus is merciful and gracious." They don't give you solutions. Christianity gives you absolutely no solution. None. No solutions. It's just all they give you is death, because that's what Christianity is. Christianity is death. Anybody that participates in Christianity is going to lead you straight to the pit of hell. Guys, I'm seeing it. I'm so thankful that I see it, because guess what? There was a time I thought that was life. And the whole time I was walking in darkness. The whole time I was leading a life that's going to lead me to death. And Yah was so gracious, for real, gracious and merciful to me, to get a hold of me and snatch me out of the world and wake me up to the real truth. You go to John 15, what he says in John 15, if the world hates you, you know, it says right here, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. I was loved in Christianity, loved. But because you are not of the world, I have chosen. You see, look, he chose me out of the world. Therefore, the world hates you. And so I'm reminded he chose me.
Where was that? John 15 what?
John 15, verse 6, verse starting at 18. So, guys, it was just so beautiful to go from straightway to Christian, back to coming back home it was like so beautiful. Even me coming home was different than it was in Christianity. Because I was reminded when I used to come home, I'm chasing my children. Where's everybody? You know, it's like, hey, daddy's home. And it wasn't even a big, it's like I had to go to them, But then when I come here, I come home.
Everybody's waiting for you.
And they're waiting for me. They're greeting me. They're happy to see me. People making me, homemade apple pie.
Homemade ice cream.
Homemade ice cream. I got bro, it was just off the chain. Children coming here greeting me. It was like, wow. It's just, I felt the love after being in a place of hate in the Christianity. And then I come to the cult and I feel love. I mean, guys, I'm talking about it was night and day. It was so contrary. It was not like lukewarm. Like I could tell death, light, dark. You know what I'm saying? It was just the contrast was off the chain. And so then I get back home, great homecoming, even though I was gone for a little bit, homecoming, but I just felt like, man, it just made me say, man, Yah, thank you for my community, thank you for my family, thank you for my woman, my children, just thank you. I had to be thankful, really genuinely thankful, and so and guys, does that mean there's no issue at Straightway Truth Ministry? No. At the leadership meeting, we heard some stuff that's going on in the Dead Sea. This is off the proverbial chain. But the way the leadership is responding, led by Pastor Dow and the elders, man, the way we are handling this stuff is so done biblically and done with love. And these are hard things that we have to deal with. This is not a light matter. Very hard. I don't know who will want to be an elder or a leader in Israel. My goodness. Deacon, am I making this up? Maybe I'm exaggerating, Deacon. You were there. Hey, it's two witnesses. Am I making how heavy this thing was?
No, you're not, Elder. I mean, I think that if anything, it brought a lot more respect and honor in the way that Pastor has set forth how to deal with these things according to the word. And so huge contrast from what you experience in Christianity and from what most people Christianity. There's literally ecclesiastical rulership amongst the elders in Israel within Straightway. I guess I can't speak for any other ministry, but at least here it's organized. We deal with things in a proper manner, and we deal according to it with the scriptures. So,
and so when I tell you guys, this is not because Straightway is all fun and lovely. We have to deal with some hard stuff. We have to make judgment. We have to excommunicate people. We have to allow people to suffer. We have to allow people to suffer the consequences of their actions, their sins. And there's some judgment that Yah has made. And bro, I'm telling you, it's off the chain. Off the proverbial chain. I'm not making this up. So when I tell you what Amazing Ministry Straightway is, it has nothing to do because everybody's just perfect, everything is good. And no, there's some hard things that be happening. But the ways handled by the leadership, sticking to the book is just, that's the part that's so beautiful. And the love and the care they have for Israel, the people, the love we have for the people is just, you don't see that in Christianity. I've never experienced that in Christianity, never seen it. And I was a deacon in Christianity. I was on the board, and I did not see this type of love that you see here at Straightway Truth Ministry. So this has nothing to do with everything is good, there's no problems. No, we have to deal with issues. Matter of fact, I've seen so much already just being an elder, and pastor always says, welcome, Kabeer, welcome to the club. Now you see what we did. I mean, anyway, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to tell you, this is a beautiful ministry. So now I've been doing some working out. I've been fortunate to be able to be in the NFL, play in the NFL. They got this benefit where you can work out at a local gym in your area, aka YMCA. But anyway, and so we have a gym here at the house, but here's a lot more machines and a lot more heavy weights, and then just trying to see if I can get and it's hard to get a spot sometimes. So I decided to say, let me take advantage of stuff. It's free. It's right around the corner. It literally takes me less than 10 minutes to get there. I don't even have to shower. I can literally come back home and shower up. That's how quick it is, So anyway, so guess what, Deacon?
Go ahead.
I happened to twice already this week. I ran into people of my the old circles that I used to hang out with. People that I used to be. There was one guy I hung out with, and he was in my class, in my deliverance is called life skills or whatever, but it was like a deliverance class that I facilitated 6 months. I mean, I'm talking about some serious stuff. And then I talked to another guy that actually participated in the breaking up of my home, and I was just there working out. I saw one guy the first time I saw him. I didn't have my glasses on. I can see still even without my glasses, but it's really hard to see when when it's sunny. So I see somebody in there, and he waves to me. So I kind of wave to him too. I'm like, hey, what's up? But I'm saying, who is that? I don't even know who I waved to. But the guy kind of and he was a brother, meaning he was a black brother, which is rare. So I wanted to say, okay, this is a black guy. Maybe I can share the gospel with him. Maybe. And then you're like, oh shoot, I thought look at here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. So then I asked him, I said, hey, so it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? He's, oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing amazingly great. I can't complain. Like literally can't complain. And stuff. He says, really? Yeah. And so we were, talking about stuff in the past and things of that nature. He said, yeah, I still haven't seen my children. Isn't that amazing? And this guy comes from a broken home. And I said, yeah, I mean, I think you said your dad went crazy, right? He said, yeah. But I still had visitation. So, well, I'm not crazy. I have not seen my children, And so anyway, we were just talking, and but this is the part I really want to get to that he said. I said, can you tell me one thing you think that I did wrong? I'm all ears. He says, he just kind of said, well, you're very stubborn. I think he used the word stubborn. I said, okay, I'm very stubborn. Okay. What does that mean? You give me something more concrete so that I can actually meditate on that. And if it's something that I need to repent of, I can repent of. And then as I kept pushing him for him to tell me, after so many years, I'm thinking he had time to say, man, Kabeer, you were wrong because you did drugs. You was wrong because you were a whoremonger. Kabeer, you were wrong because you put a knife to your wife's neck. I mean, like something. I mean, is that concrete enough? Like these are stuff that you can okay, okay, now I get it. Or you were wrong because you were molesting your children. Do you think I heard any of that, Deacon?
No.
No, I'm here literally trying to get this Christian. I'm like, hey, tell me what I did wrong. You know what his answer was? I'm not your judge. I said, okay, I get it. I get it. But I give you permission to judge me. Please judge me. Because a righteous man loves
judgment.
Loves judgment. I said, you can judge me, because if I did something wrong, I need to know so I can repent. Because at the time, you say you're not my judge, but at the time, you did play my judge. You are the one that participated in the breaking up of my home. So now tell me, what gave you that strong conviction to come and interfere in my house, in the affairs of my home? Tell me. He says, I'm not God. I didn't make up the rules. He was playing the whole I'm not God. I said, okay, you can't give me anything biblically. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. How about this? Just give me your opinion. I'll take your opinion now. And even if your opinion is bad as Kabeer, I think it's a sin. I think it was wrong for you to keep the Shabbat, and you should have loved your wife, stayed with your wife, and forsake keeping the Shabbat. Even if you say that, I can respect that, and I'll walk away. Now he wouldn't. Now, do you think he said, "Yep, that was a problem"?
No,
he didn't say that. You know what he said? So I was able. He says, "Okay, if I had to give you my opinion, this was his opinion." I think I wrote it down. I had to write it down because I really wanted to get his opinion, and I want to give a challenge to you guys to tell me if you think his opinion is wise, biblical. I mean, I want your guys' opinion. Let me see, because I think I wrote this thing down because I wanted to make sure I got it just right. Let me see here. Oh, right here. No, that's not it. Where did I write it? Did I write this? So how do you check your notes here?
Where is that? Where you put your notes?
I think I wrote it in my notes, but it says yesterday. Let me see. Oh, well, it was a week ago. Let me see here. Anyway, if I can remember. Oh, no, I know where I wrote it. Hold on. I got it. Guys, forgive me here. I want your guys' opinion on this one, okay? Okay, this is what I said. This is what it says. I says, okay, this is what he said. And I'm paraphrasing, and I hope I get this out. He says, and before he actually told me what I'm about to read to you, he thought that he says we're both stubborn. He was in disagreement with my ex-wife remarrying. He was in disagreement with her moving to California. I mean, he said he sounds like they're in disagreement. So it's kind of, because she seemed like she wore out all her friends. But whatever the case is, I kept on saying, what did I do wrong? That's all. I don't care. What did I do wrong? And he says, here's where I think, in my own opinion, and he did clarify this is his opinion. He says, I should have been patient. I should have prayed to God and prayed that God would change the heart of my wife, and then wait until God changed her heart and move in unity together. Did you hear that? Let me say that again for you guys, okay? Take notes. I should have prayed when I had that dream. I'm just going back. When I had that dream, and God says, you don't love me, you test me. And then I saw Pastor Dow's video. I'm watching Pastor Dow videos, and I am convinced, like it was like I was convinced, like convicted. I don't even say convicted. I was convicted that I should keep the Sabbath day holy, to remember the Sabbath day holy from Friday evening to Saturday evening. I was convicted. I was convinced that this needed to be done today, immediately. So what I should have done was pray, ask God, can you also change my wife's heart? And then before I obey Jesus, I need to wait until my wife is in agreement, and then we move together. So now I have questions myself. My question is, okay, how long do I wait? Do I wait a week to obey God? Do I wait 2 weeks? Do I wait a month? Do I wait 3 months? Do I wait a year? Like let's take this. Like, okay, what does patient means? He said love is kind. He wanted to use that, love is kind, love is patient. So I'm here trying to like just ask simple questions. Like, okay, I hear you. And I'm not even here to debate. Okay, that's your opinion. But now I have questions. how long do I wait till I obey Jesus? Is it okay to delay obedience? Is it okay, deacon? You're a deacon in the ministry. Is it okay to obey him, but obey him until my wife is ready to move?
What's the saying? Delayed obedience is disobedience.
That's what I'm saying now. It's a delayed obedience is disobedience. When Yah tell you to go do something now, you go do it now. You don't say, Yah, hold on, wait a minute, Yah. Yeah, I want to obey Yah, but I won't move until my wife is in agreement, because we want to walk in unity for the sake of unity. So that's what he said I did wrong, that I wasn't patient. And let me make sure. So it says, be patient and move in unity with your wife. And then I'm asking the question, are there limits? Meaning, if my wife wants to sin, one should sin to remain in unity with their wife. So let me give you some examples of people who did this in the Bible. So we're going to make this thing biblical. When you think of Adam and Eve, according to this man's opinion, and now, guys, I know, I'm just playing with it here, okay? But according to this man's opinion, Adam did right, because Adam disobeyed the Most High Yah so that he could be in unity with his wife Eve. So she ate the fruit, and so for the sake of unity's sake, he ate the fruit. But if you go back to the word, okay, before I go, and please pull up, not right now, but pull up the scripture where it says, to be my disciple. I just want everybody to see this, who's listening to this. So then you have another one, like, man, I mean, Lot can take a lesson from Adam, because according to this brother, or I can't even come, but the brother, this guy, Lot messed up. Lot was messed up. Man, I tell you, Lot, you are stubborn. When your wife looked back, he should have looked back with her. Instead, he kept looking forward. His daughters kept looking forward, and they kept on moving. But according to this guy, he would be wrong, because he should have looked back in unity with the wife. Are you hearing this?
Yeah.
How come? What happened to? Well, the wife could be walking in unity with the husband, but no. Christianity is a matriarch. It's a matriarch. Everything revolves around the woman in Christianity. If you are a Christian listening to this video right now, prove me wrong. Tell me I'm wrong when I say this. You may have a male pastor, you may have a husband, a father in the house, but you know that I'm speaking truth when I say this. That woman is truly the head of that home. Now she plays as if she's not the head, but I can promise you she is the neck that controls that head. So we know Lot messed up according to this man's opinion, but thank God that we don't live according to this man's opinion. But let's keep going there, because I really did take time to simmer, think about it, ponder on it, pray about it. So Job, oh my goodness, Job really messed up, Deacon. You know what Job did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his wife told him, curse God and be dead. According to this man's opinion, he should have cursed God and be dead because his wife said so. Job was a very stubborn man, very stubborn. Lot, you were stubborn too. Adam, but Adam, according to this guy, what he did back in the days, what he did long ago in the beginning, in his eyes, he did right. I would have liked to think that if I was Adam, I would have tossed that fruit and said, I'm not touching that. Ooh, you are in trouble, or avoided it. Use his authority as a husband to avoid it so Yah can protect the woman. You know? So can you go to that passage in the gospel where Yeshua says, to be my disciple? So Yah, you have our master, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, saying that if any man comes to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying here? I want you to go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 23, I believe. I want to show you this word hate because everybody thinks this hate. I know it's King James, but this hate is just making it's very concrete. It says right here in verse 24, in verse 24, it says, no man, listen, guys, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Yet you cannot serve God and money. So you got to choose. You can't say, okay, I'm going to please my wife and please Yah. That's not going to happen. You're not going to come in with this lukewarm. You're going to either be hot or cold. You can't do both. You got to choose this day whom you're going to serve. You see it right there. You can't serve two masters. And so so when Yah gave me the call to obey, to keep the Sabbath, guess what? Was I supposed to wait and pray for God to change the heart of my woman? Or was I supposed to just lead? Men lead. What did I led? Can you find the passage where it talks about that Yah change the heart of a king? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
So he's right. You can't pray that God would change the heart of someone. But it depends on what your role is. This is about relationships. So if I'm the man, does it make sense? Let me read here. Read Proverbs 21:1.
And the king's heart is in the hand of Yah, as the rivers of water.
Whose heart is in whose heart is in the hands of Yah?
The king's heart.
The king's heart is in the hands of Yah. Read.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
So, guys, listen. Yah says that the king's heart is in the hand of Yah. He can change the heart of a king like water, like rivers of waters. He can go wherever he will, just like what he did with the Pharaoh when he enslaved our people long ago in Egypt, in Mizraim. He was able to harden the heart of the king, and then he even got the heart to eventually soften to let the people go. And then he got hardened again. He came back and tried to get the people. Yah did that. Now, does it say the heart, the woman's heart is in the hands of Yah?
That's not what it says.
That's not what it says. So if I'm dealing with a king, then I know if I feel this king is being unrighteous or being mean or being whatever, being unfair or whatever, I can go to my master and say, Yah, please have mercy on me. Change your heart. Have this king show favor. Have favor in me, just like he did with Joseph the dreamer, the one that had the dreams of the many coats, right? Yah showed him favor by way of the Pharaoh when he blessed him and made him the second most powerful man in Egypt. Many times you see Yah coming in, changing the hearts of the king. When Abraham and his woman was going through foreign lands and they took Sarah to be his wife, he was able to stop that king or whoever the ruler was. It was able to stop them and say, don't touch that woman, or you and your children all would be cursed. I mean, that's what we're talking about. So in this case, you're talking to the man. If the man and the father is the head of the household, why in the hell maybe Deacon, I'm missing something. Can you show me in the word, if you can remember, and anybody on here can remember, can you show me anywhere in the word where it literally tells that the man pray for the heart to be changed of his wife or his children? Can you show me that?
I cannot. I'm sorry, Elder.
Deacon, come on, you are a deacon at Straightway Truth Ministry. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's because it's not there.
Oh, right. That's what I'm talking. It's not there. You know how I change the heart of my children? Yeah, matter of fact, I would give people this. Let's play this game here just a little bit. Okay, I know we running a little bit here. How do you guys think if I want to change the heart of my little children in my house right now? How do you think that I do that? I want to see. You only one word phrase. So I'm gonna give some time for people to participate. Please, we got 44 people. Guys, please hit the like button, subscribe, and please give me an answer. how do you think that if my children are doing something and I want that I don't like, how do I do? Do I pray? I could pray. I could say, God, please change the heart of my son, my 3-year-old right now. He's doing something that I don't like. Can you? That could be an option. And if you guys haven't, I just want to see the options here. Let me give you guys 30 seconds. I see 40 people in here. Is it coming through? Or is mine delayed?
No, you're see what TJ said there.
What did TJ say? Oh, okay, whooping. Okay, somebody says lead. Okay, that's a good one. That rod, that's a good one, brother TJ. He's onto something. Some people may have some other ones. Nope. Okay, that's it. Okay, I like my brother TJ's thing. A whooping. It's called a rod. You can use that rod to change your heart of a boy. You know what I'm saying? And when you, woo, wow, pow! I mean, man, you'll be
to deliver his soul.
Man, you will literally deliver his soul from hell by using that rod. Guess what? It doesn't say in there, hey, to change the heart of your little ones, you pray. No, it says beat him. You will not kill him. You beat him. You discipline him. Yep. A belt, a rod, whooping. You guys are hitting it. So you see what I'm saying here? So that's not a king. I don't pray to change the heart of my children. I'm going to just beat them with the rod, chasing them. Because why? Because I love them. If you love your children, you're going to chasten them. You're going to discipline them. You're going to use the rod. It will not kill them. It will hurt. Yes, it will bring sharp rebuke, discipline, but it will change your heart quickly, amazingly. Now, how about when it comes to changing the hearts of the wife? Since you said you can't find, what's a way that I could change the heart of a woman? How do you do it, Deacon, if you want to change the heart of your woman? Don't say anything. No. How would you guys think that a man can change the heart of his woman? Let me see what people say. I got me one move that I use. Ooh, somebody said the rod on their woman. Okay, hey, in America, I'm not saying that's wrong or right, but I'm just saying be wise on that one. Maybe he's talking about the children. Maybe that's a delayed answer. TJ, give me an answer. How would you, if you want to, what's one way you can get your wife's attention? Okay. Somebody said Ecclesiasticus 25:26. Okay, I think I know what that is. If she won't know, you can give her a bill of divorce, I believe. Is that what it says? Can you pull that up?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Yep, I like that one. Xavier, yep. Well, yep, Blue from Babylon. I don't know. Yep, you guys got withdraw your presence, remove your presence. You guys are hitting it right. See, these are rebuked with the word. Mm-hmm. In Christianity, they'll say that you're scriptural abuse. Right? Okay. So you guys are getting it. But once again, you won't hear. Pray, God, please change the heart of my wife. And then when she obeys, then I will obey. Wait a minute. Who's the leader? Here's a word withhold affection. Yep, withhold affection. Hey, but here's another way. And this is what Pastor told me long ago. Well, it's not long ago, 2017, when I was going through it. You know how I rebuked my woman at the time? Guess what? I stood. I stood on the word of the Most High Yah. I did not move. She left, but I didn't move. I stood. I stood my ground. I stood on my conviction that this is the way to do. We're going to keep the Shabbat. I did not move. Hey, we come back home. Do we have to keep the Shabbat? Yes. You, my sons, my daughters, my cattle, anything that's with any stranger within my gates will have to keep the Shabbat. As long as I'm in this house and I'm the head of this house, everybody will be keeping the Shabbat holy within the gates. So I stood. And this is why I didn't have to remove my presence. They left. So I just stood my ground. Most men are so freaking weak-willed, have no freaking balls. They're simps, and they don't know how to stand. Standing is sometimes will get that woman to say, wow, this guy is serious. Pastor stood when he got called. And guess what? And so now you leave the wife and the children, they have a choice to make. They can either stand by their man or they can leave. In my situation, she left. And you know something? She did me, I'm talking about an amazing favor. Thank you. Thank you, Yeshua. I'm glad my woman left me at that time. I'm glad she divorced me. You know why? Because now it was like a pruning. Yeah, I used that opportunity because I stood. He pruned the wicked woman away from me and allowed me now to be more fruitful. And now I have a beautiful family. I have a community. I'm part of a beautiful ministry called Straightway Truth Ministry. And so that's what, if most men would just stand. And if you're a woman, you don't need to go and rebel against that man. If anything, the word makes it very clear in 1 Peter that if you have a man that's not obeying the word, put it up 1 Peter chapter 3 real quick. And then we'll get to the visions. I'm sorry, man. This, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. I just want to show you, women, this is not, men are different. There is a double standard for women. Likewise, ye wives, be subject to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, finish that for me, deacon.
They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
And the conversation means behavior. While they, keep reading.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
So that's what a woman's supposed to do. You're supposed to subject yourself to that man. And when you see your man not obeying the word, if you truly believe he's not obeying the word, guess what? You get on your knees and you have the confidence to know that Yah, that your husband, your master's heart is in the hands of Yah, and he can change the heart of that man at his will, if it's according to his will. So if you really believe your husband, your master, or those who rule over you is truly not following Yah, then you subject yourself, you get on your knees, and you pray that Yah will change his heart. And trust it. Trust it. Anyway, we can keep moving on here. I'm sorry, I got carried. I do want to share the small testimony. People may think it's not a big deal, but I just wanted to share this tip. You can look up this one that about the number of hairs on your head, Deacon. But I want to share this little testimony. Here's another thing that the contrast, right? So I go from straightway. And then I went to this conference. Oh my goodness. Woo. Death. It was, I couldn't wait to get back home. Came back home, boom. And one of my sons, he was walking around really sad. He was sad. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he says, "I couldn't find my watch." He said, "You couldn't find your watch?" Really? And he's scratching his head, trying to figure out where's my watch. I said, "Did you pray?" He said, "No." Well, you pray and in the name of Yeshua, and you ask him to help you to find your watch. And you remind him that he knows the number of hairs on your head, that he knows that if a bird falls in the woods, he knows exactly where that bird is. And as much as he knows that, how much more would he not know where your watch is? Now, listen to this, guys. My son actually took my counsel. He went and gone and prayed. He prayed that very day. Guys, I know. I'm just telling you. He prayed. And he was looking all over the place. He couldn't find his watch. And he was just walking. And he happens to walk by a trash can. I'm talking about in the kitchen. It's not even upstairs where he stays. He was walking, and all of a sudden something hit his spirit. He had a witness. He experienced having a witness. And something told him the watch is in the trash can. So he started going into the trash can with food and all. He's looking, poor thing. His sister comes by and says, "What are you doing?" And he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just looking. He's looking. And darn it, he found his watch.
Hallelujah.
Is that? God, I just want to get. I know. You guys think, are you kidding me? A watch? You think that the Most High Yah, the creator of the universe, cares about a little boy looking for his watch?
Yes.
Yes,
he does.
Yes. He says a bird can fall in the woods, and he says it will fall through, and he knows exactly where it is. Everybody, look, if you have hair, I know some of you don't have hair. Some of you may be losing hair. I get it. But even if your hair is reprobate, I get it. The hairline is reprobate. But even with that, Can you count the number of hairs on your head? Do you know what they are? No, I can't. Deacon, maybe you can because your hair is straighter. Can you count? Do you know how many number of hair?
I don't think that makes a difference, but no.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm just okay. How about your daughters? Maybe that's different. You're younger.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Okay, that's even worse. But Yah says He knows. Do you doubt if Yah knows?
Oh, not at all. He created me.
Now, Deacon, you've been with me, Deacon. How long have you been with me, Deacon?
Since 2017.
The testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses establishes all things. Now, since you've known me, I know. I'm not spiritual. I do not claim to be spiritual, but I am spiritual. I get it. But how little does something have to be for me to pray about it?
Oh, there's nothing too little.
Nothing too little, right? Like I said, oh no, that's beneath me. And the times that we have prayed, we have found driver's license. We have found what different thing? Watches,
cell phones,
cell phones, everything, just by making our request known to the Most High Yah. And He literally answered the prayers every time. He is undefeated since I've known where I prayed for something and He's found it. That's faith. See, I always tell you guys to be faithful in the little things. Yah is faithful even in little prayers, what you may call little prayer. So I just want to give a praise report to the Most High Yah for answering my son's prayer because he lost his watch. And I told my son, I was tired. I said, well, bro, because I just came from a long trip. I said, pray and you will find your watch. And he found it and he experienced the faith in Yeshua HaMashiach. He had the faith in Yeshua. He was literally walking. He had a witness. There was nothing logical that told him to look at that trash can. He had a witness. He looked at it. He was digging, and he found the watch. Be faithful, guys. I just brag about that. But anyway, I'm done with my stuff. So that's what I experienced, and I'm glad to be back home. I'm glad to be back this helm. And it's just, guys, I'm just telling you, it's like I do not miss Christianity at all. I don't care what anybody say. And if a Christian can tell me my challenge to Christians are this. Tell me what Christianity has to offer me. Tell me what they have to offer me so that I can replace this. That's better. That's better than what I got right now. And I bet you Christianity do not have an answer. I would love to hear a Christian tell me this is what we offer, because with Christianity, I experience hate. I experience cold heart. People, I didn't experience love. It's all about money. People use you. Here, I've experienced love, even in the worst times. And I know more about the worst time in straightway than I did in Christianity. Christianity hid it from you. No one knew why somebody left the church, why they weren't there, why they got kicked out, why is no one talking to you? Didn't know what was going on. They kept it all smooth. It was nice. There's no problems. Everybody's happy, but it was fake happy. Here, you see all the junk, but you also see the redemption. You also see the love, the grace, the mercy at Straightway Truth Ministry. But I don't see that in Christianity. In Christianity, it's an illusion of good. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Ooh, it's all good. Don't look behind the curtain. You don't look. If you look behind it, they'll kick you out of the church. That's what Christianity is. But the cult, that I love my culture. I love the cult of Straightway Truth Ministry because it's righteous living. Righteousness is we keep the commandments of Yah. We love Yah and we love our brethren and our sisters. So anyway, let's see reaction time.
All right, this is reaction time with the elder.
Sorry.
On Walmart right now? Yeah. Coming from where?
What are you talking about?
Hey, real quick, look up. You see me? You see me? Wave to the camera. Wave to the camera.
Where would you get a drone from?
It don't matter where I got it from. Man, dudes done got on some futuristic George Jetson shopping at Spies R Us type ish. Little buddy broke out the drone light.
Oh,
I got it now. I got it. I knew it. Y'all chicks can't even cheat no more.
Hey, he's wearing a Crenshaw. He's wearing a Crenshaw shirt.
I know. I see.
I just noticed that.
Hey, you see, hey guys, what's so
Different world.
huh?
It's a
You
different
know,
world nowadays.
you know what's so funny, Deacon? Like as I've started to learn so much about just coming in this way, I've learned the nature of men, learned the nature of women. Do you know that women really do cheat more than men? I mean, so
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you call cheating.
Even
Like
statistically, yeah.
I always thought the men were the dogs. They always had to focus on the dog. Oh, the guys are the dogs. They're the cheaters. Women probably want sex more than the man. That's what I'm starting to figure out. Women want it more than the guys. They do more cheating. The only thing is they don't get caught. Women knows how to
Mhm.
hide. And now you got to get to the point where men have to get they got to go to this, what do you call it, George Jetsons or something.
Yeah, the drones.
A freaking drone to catch it. Normally, back in the days, we didn't have all this technology. We didn't have GPS. We didn't have drones to be able to sit there and follow to see what this woman is doing.
Yeah, she said she was leaving Walmart. She
Yeah,
was
she even want
funny as
she's
no damn Walmart.
lying. So it's come down to this, man, where women can literally look you in your eyes and lie, bro. And the reason why they always worry about their man cheating is because they're cheating.
Yeah, straight up.
They're cheating. I'm telling you, bro. I mean, but this is what it comes down in the modern days now. If you want to catch your woman cheating, this is it. Thank God we have phones and drones and stuff, because back in the days there'd be no way to even know.
Thank
They
God
knew,
for his
they
law.
knew it in biblical time. They knew it, but biblical time they was a little bit more. I feel like they were. I mean,
Well,
you got stoned to
You got
death.
stoned for adultery.
There's no consequences here.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you get a drone? What the hell are you talking about him getting drone? Why are you cheating? You here worried about why you got a drone, but you're not addressing the fact that you freaking sleeping with another man or at some other man's house. Man, come on.
It's sad.
Sad. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, we got another one here, Elder.
But that's
What does a guy get from a woman that he couldn't get from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker?
Cool.
Probably. No.
So-
You're right. Probably, if it's just the woman with relationship, definitely it would be loyalty and the stability of that woman. Your
Right,
cook could
so-
leave. She might say, "Oh, she needs all of those people." There's no. It would be the stability and the loyalty. Definitely.
Right,
I'm not saying that's not wrong. But
Right, and that goes back to like why it's better to date girls with lower body counts because they're more loyal.
yeah, but I don't know about all of that.
So if a girl's a virgin on her wedding night, she has an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If she sleeps with more than 5 people, it drops down to 30%.
Wow.
Do you hear this? And look at that woman's response. This woman response. I don't know about that. Why? Because she got a huge body count. She just told on herself.
Yeah.
She got a huge body count. And the fact that if you get with a woman that has a low body count, she has a greater chance of being loyal and happy in that marriage. But when you have a woman that have all these body counts, it's hard for them to connect to that man. Unless they just had a truly been born again. I really do believe a woman can be born again, genuine, get the genuine baptism of the Holy Spirit. But man, you make it very difficult when you start having all these body counts.
Yeah.
You make it very difficult because a woman was not created to be sleeping around with so many different men.
Exactly.
Not like that. I mean, this is a statistic, and the way that woman responded, she said, "I don't know about that." See, and that's why I love our ministry, because look how straightway, literally, I can't tell you how many marriages that we have seen come together, how many men and women having covenant relationships, that are virgins. It's so beautiful. And I really appreciate our shepherd pastor for really making a big deal about that stuff. Man, we need that. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Let's jump to the next one here, Elder.
Turn babies into boys, but it's the dads who turn boys into men. And when the dads are absent or emotionally absent, in other words, there but emotionally disconnected, and when they haven't been taught how to be a man, how to stand up and shake hands, you don't just say hi to someone. You stand up, shake hands, make eye contact. If a woman's going up the escalator, you stand behind her. If she's going down the escalator, you stand in front of her. If you're walking on a sidewalk with a woman, a man walks on the street side. You're opening doors for women. You're a savage and a servant. You're a lamb and a lion. Are you going to show up as a passive-aggressive man, or are you going to show up as a guy who can protect, provide, and preside, lead his family?
You see, this is good. And I'll even say a lot of stuff he said here, I don't know all the little definitions here, but for the most part, 95% of the stuff, I like what he's saying, because even in Israel, guys, one thing I'm noticing with this generation, that I'm noticing, even in Israel, a lot of young men, because of maybe growing up in broken homes or just the society, a lot of men don't know how to lead their home. A lot of times, especially being in a patriarch ministry like Straightway Choose Ministry, we just expect a woman just to be perfect, obedient, but we don't have any expectation of ourselves that we need to lead this woman. We need to lead her. We need to give her instructions, just like a head coach. That's like having a football. I'm a head coach of a football team, and then I go to the GM that hired me to go win Super Bowls. I say, well, I don't know why we're winning, because the players won't do what I tell them to do. That's why we hired you, so you make them do what you want them to do so they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly.
But that wouldn't fly. No one would expect, if a coach comes on TV and said the players won't do what I tell them to do, and that's why we're losing. I told them to do this, and we voted, and they didn't want to practice. I'm like, what the? They will fire that head coach and get somebody who can do the job.
Out of order, yeah.
And so a lot of time, men, I gotta speak to the men on this. A lot of time, you guys got to consider, when your wife is going through some stuff, what are you doing? What's going on in your life? Maybe there's something that you're doing in the privacy that no one knows except for Yah and yourself and your wicked heart. And your wife is here struggling, trying to figure things out, wondering why she's being spiritually attacked, because the head is sick. And you just, because of your sinful, wicked life, you literally open up the door and allow Satan to torment your wife and your children.
Doesn't the word say to water her with the word? But if you're not in the word, how can you water?
Exactly. How can you water her, nourish her, keep her warm, cherish her? That's what the word says. So a lot of these guys are sitting here blaming their women why they're not where they need to be, but the men are not there. You expect more from your woman than you expect from yourself. And you're not even leading. You're not even in the word. You're not even connected to the Most High Yah, to your master. But you want your wife to walk with you lockstep in your stupidity. So I'm telling you guys, I mean, brothers, we have some great leaders in this ministry that's been ordained, community heads. You need to go to these men and ask them how to be a man. You should be at their feet asking them questions on how to lead their home.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about my woman, Bree. I feel like Bree is grown, but guess what? Bree's not growing on her own. I have to pour into her. I have to water her. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you may get frustrated. Deacon, sometimes you do get frustrated. And Deacon always comes back and says, but does she have potential? Does she have potential? I say, yeah, okay.
But you do the same thing. Hey, you do the same thing with me, though. You gotta calm me down. So I know. Deacon, be merciful.
We so gracious. We so gracious to another man's woman, but we're so to our woman. Shit, we ready to just like, man. But then he reminds me to love her.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to put ourselves in the same thing. Yeah. We want Yah to our master to give up on us.
But see, that's the proper order. We have brotherhood. We sharpen each other, right? We talk. I don't know how many times I've asked you questions about rearing and what do I do in this situation with my woman. I'm looking at you. How many times have you heard me, Elder, be like, "What do you do with your family?" Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. You probably feel first like, man, this guy's always copying me, man. I got to find something unique here.
But you speaking truth, and look at the fruit. Look at the fruit of our children. When people see our children, they're well behaved, well mannered. They're not running around, but because they're trained. That's on purpose. These children don't just grow up acting trained. You have to train them. You have to discipline them. If you can get something in your mind as you men, think like you're a coach or something.
Yeah,
you're a coach. Your women are your assistant coaches, and your children are the players. And you got to pour into your coaches, your assistant coaches, so they can pour into the players and be able to produce the type of things you want. You have to have an expectation. I remember asking one brother, what's your vision for your family? What do you mean? I said, right there, you're done. You don't even have a vision for your family, but you expect your woman, your children to know what you want. And you don't even, where there's no vision to people, what?
Perish.
You at the head. And I'm asking you for your vision for your house. And you ask me, what do you mean? What do you mean?
And there's no excuse because Pastor talks about this stuff, man. There's no, I mean, it's Elder, you talk about it. Elder Rufus talks about it. I mean, it's just an unwilling heart at that point. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, like, I have a vision. If you ask me what's my vision for my family, to lead my family in Yah's everlasting ways.
That would take up a whole show.
Ooh,
just
right
to try to explain that.
When it comes to the community, it's the same thing. But I always emphasize be faithful in the little. That's where this be faithful in the little comes from.
Yeah.
And it hits everything. That means every time when I say be faithful, but fiddle, we can say they know exactly what it means. We do everything at a high level, even when it comes to the minutia, to the little things. We are faithful, not just the big things. We're faithful even when it comes to little, taking out the trash, cleaning the toilet, working with you. We try to be faithful in the little. That's what we do. Not even try. I don't even like using the word try. That's what we do. We're faithful in the little.
Yeah.
Period. So have a vision for what you're trying to do. And then when you have a vision and you set the expectation, go inspect the expectation. Inspect what you expect.
Yep.
If you expect the ends to be here, then you need to go in there and making sure that the people that you're leading is meeting those expectations. Go inspect it. Sometimes people just tell their women or children to go do something, but they never go check on their work to see if it's done because they're too lazy. They are too lazy to go check. You don't just bark commands. You got to go in there and make sure it's done.
Yeah, that's what it means to lead a family. Yep.
I mean, in the beginning, you may have to do a lot of the work, show and everything. I was just thinking about this leadership meeting. The first time, when Bree's trying to get to understand how I want things to be done and boom, 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 I was very involved. I got to admit, guys, this last one was probably one of our best. What do you think, Deacon? I'm just thinking. I thought it was one of the best, right?
Yeah, there's obviously always room to improve.
Always room, and you know us. We would nitpick ourselves. What could we have done better? And we found things we could do better.
Oh yeah,
things of that nature. But I probably was not as involved in the details like I've been accustomed to in the past because Bree and the other sisters did just an amazing job. Sister Evan and all the other sisters here. They did an amazing job in doing all that stuff. They knew what the standard was. They knew exactly what I was looking for. I came in, checked it here and there, but for the most part, they did. I just kind of walked around and made some tweaks here and there, but for the most part, and Deacon, you play a part in that too, getting everything that we needed to make this thing happen.
Hallelujah.
But you got to inspect what you expect. So, brothers, come on. You can't expect your woman. I mean, you're supposed to say, my yoke is light and easy. You're supposed to say, hey, women, children, hey, take on my yoke, for it's light and easy. And then thank God we have our master. We can take his yoke and light, and because his yoke and light is easy for us.
That's it.
But so many of you guys want to take this heavy load, this spiritual load, and you put it on your woman and want her to figure it out and expect her to be way more spiritual. While your lazy ass just sit there and do whatever. Yeah, okay, you working, you're hiding behind because you can work, you provide, but you're not spiritually connected to the Most High Yah. And your woman's being rat-tat-tat-tatted by Satan and his demons because you're not protecting her. So we got to start looking at us, brothers, and saying, what are we doing? If your house is not right, the first thing you should do is look in the mirror and see what is it that you're not doing. What are you doing that's causing a curse to be messing with your home? And once you inspect yourself, then you can now look at the other people and what they're doing.
Exactly.
Does that maybe I'm being unfair?
No, I mean, what you're bringing you're bringing balance, Elder. I mean, because obviously you can be one-sided. In Christianity, that teaches is all the man's fault, and then you can easily be on this as all the women's fault. But what this ministry does, it brings a balance. Let's look at the whole picture. Let's consider everything. So you're right on point. So
my word to all the brothers out there, you guys need deliverance. If you got stuff that you've been dealing with that you haven't dealt with, you need to get them. This is a deliverance ministry. I told you, I met a man that's not even in the faith. This man, a Christian, and he's dealing with this stuff, and he's the man dealing with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, guys, if there's stuff that you haven't overcome, because here's the beauty: when you get your deliverance, guess what? Now you will have what it takes to teach your woman how to get her deliverance. But how can you help her to get her deliverance if you haven't overcome anything?
Facts.
Anyway,
that's right. You're right.
You got another one?
Yeah, we got one more here.
Okay.
With this one, and then we'll wrap it up. There's maybe a few things to look at the chat, and then we'll wrap it up here, Elder.
Get called a pick me, I already know, but I don't care. Why is it that modern feminism just promotes this idea that absolutely nothing is a woman's fault ever, even in her own life, her own choice. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's men. It's all men. Not all men are horrible. Not all women are good. But you can be good and you can make good choices. I don't know. I just feel like sitting here and telling women that nothing is their fault it's not helping anyone. It's just not. And I know there's people that are going to sit there and go, that's not what's happening. Is that what's happening with every single person in the world? No. I'm not addressing every single woman in the world. I'm addressing the ones who think this way, because there are women who think this way.
Let me give my
There
reaction.
you go. There you go.
Hey guys, hey, I love when I see women calling out other women on their bullshit, because it's amazing. Because I'm telling you, in Christianity, I can't tell you how many times I dealt with it was never the woman's fault. I don't care what it is. If the house burned down because she forgot to look at the cooking thing, it's the man's fault. Everything just come back on the man. And so especially with this modern stuff, always blaming the guys, man. And like you said, we have to have a false balance is not good. We have to have a good balance. You know, a man being in his role, woman being in her role. But this,
if I could speak on what you push here on the community elder, you're always constantly reminding the brothers whenever we hear pastor get on the women, automatically consider yourself, because we are a wife to the Most High. So when it's addressing the women and their role and them being in submission and their chaste conversation, we should consider ourselves, because we're in that same role as a wife to Yeshua. So
absolutely,
that creates a balance right there.
And I tell we have a lot of single brothers, and I hope they're not single for too long. But we do have a lot of single brothers, in at least in this community that I'm heading up. And you know what I tell them? I say, guys, I know, hey, your time will come. And there are a lot of young brothers, and we got some old brothers too, but we got a lot more younger brothers. And I tell them, guys, this is the time to learn how to be a very good bride.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you told. Continue being an asset to this community. When your time comes, you're going to be able to teach your woman how to be a bride. Why? Because you knew how to be a bride first. And so if you are having a hard time being submitted to those who rule over you, if you're murmuring and complaining and all these different things, guess what? You're not going to, your future woman's going to be doing the same thing to you.
Exactly the same thing.
So learn that, because you're going to have to help her to overcome. I know, we talk about polygyny in this community, in our ministry, and it's so interesting. Just the thought of polygyny for a lot of people, like, well, you're a man, you don't understand what it's like to have to share. I'm like, oh. I played football. I was not just one player. I had 53 other players that I had to contend with. And just in my position alone, you may have dealt with 3 or 4 just in my position alone. And so I understand what it's like to work together for the common good of one. But sometimes it may not be you're the starter. You may be the backup player because you're not good enough. But because the player that's in front of you and you want that position, he makes you even be a better player. So one day you can be the starter. Or you could be the starter and you have somebody behind you trying to get that position. And because he wants the position, he's making me even stay sharp in my skills and do the things I need to do so I can keep the position. But at the end of the day, if I do well, we all do well. If he do well, we all do well. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to freaking go kill him or beat him up, and you have to work out envy, jealousy. You have to work through all these emotions. Oh yeah. A man understand what that's like, but the difference between a polygynous relationship and being on a football team, when they cut you or they bring somebody, they're coming here to replace you. In a polygynous family, you're not bringing a woman to be bringing another woman to replace her. You're bringing her to add to the family.
That's it. Exactly.
So that's the beauty. Women don't have to worry about that. If you're in good standing, you never lose your position. You will always your situation is secure as long as you are honoring and obedient to that husband. Anyway,
and that was Rich Action Time with Elder Kabeer. Well, you want to say a few things and then we'll go to the chat, or do you want to go to the chat and then close it up after that?
Yeah, let's go to the chat. Let's see what the chat here.
You think we're gonna start here? Okay. Just shout out to brother TJ. I know he was in there.
TJ, thanks for TJ. TJ's faithful little brother. Yes. Well, not little. He's nothing little.
He kind of big. He's your little big brother.
Yeah. Read.
Who's this, brother Dawid Israel? I have never seen before or since Lithia Springs the Israelite women working in such unison and humility. They definitely reflect that what Israelite women should resemble. I think when you were talking about the event.
Oh, okay. Hallelujah. Okay, Lithia Spring. I don't know. That's good.
Kabeer should do more of this. This is good. Okay, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you for the word of encouragement, J. Martin.
About that, when you water them in the beginning, they made a small lie you can't forget, but never lied again. Any trick to forget? I think what he's trying to ask is like when you're trying to water them in the word in the beginning, and maybe your wife lied, and you forgive her, you're trying to forget, and she never lied again. Is there a way to forget? So I think that
any trick to forget, forgive. The Bible says if somebody comes to you and they forgive you and they repent, then it says forgive 7 times 70. So how do you want Jesus? Do you want Jesus to? I mean, what did Jesus say? He says he remembers our sin no more. So I mean, yeah, you remember, but it's not like I'm going to hold that over them. I just keep on moving. By their fruits you will know them.
Yeah, and the word is clear. I mean, women are going to do things to test you, and then they're going to do maybe some dumb things, if I could say that word and be pure, and it's going to make you want to be bitter. But the word is very clear. It says, do not be bitter at that wife. So if it's saying that, then they're probably going to do something to cause you to be bitter.
And I'll say this, guys, especially brothers, man, I just want to encourage you guys that when you're dealing with women, understand, women are they're a weaker vessel. They're a weaker vessel. It's for real. They are really weak. They sometimes can be emotionally unstable. That's why you need to be emotionally stable so that when they do get unstable, they have something they can hold on that won't move. Don't be moved by a woman's emotion. But you guys got to understand, you're not going to have a perfect woman that does even you get the most youngest virgin, you're going to have to work with her. You're going to have some issues with her. Just like if I was a jockey, and I know I'll be considered a big jockey, but if I was a jockey and I have a horse, and no matter how that horse still needs me to guide, even though that horse is strong and is powerful and fast, that horse still needs a leader to ride it and guide it to where it needs to go. It still needs guidance. So as a man, you got to understand you need to guide that horse. Some people may be in a situation where the woman is more spiritual than you are. And if she is, guess what? She still needs leadership. She still needs guidance. And so you need to be that jockey and understand you're going to have a situation with that horse. And when it gets, you got, hey, whoa. Okay, let's go here. Come on. We got this. And guide that horse. A lot of great athletes are great athletes, but they need coaches. They need a coach. You may have a fat ass coach. Look at Andy Reid. That's a fat ass dude there, right? He can't go out there and do half. He can't even do he can't even do a minutia of some of the things those guys do. But he's a great coach. He knows how to lead men and encourage them. So it's really about being leaders. We got to understand we are the leader. We got to have a vision. We got to inspect what we expect and push. One thing I always tell the people here, my job as a leader in this community is to teach and demand. That's my job, is to teach and demand. The key word, you got to demand. And their job is to be available and accountable. So the people of your household should be available and accountable to you, and you need to teach and demand. Keep it simple. I got that from Mike McCarthy. So I don't want to sit here and plagiarize, but I got that and I liked it. And I stuck with it. I kept that, and you may learn something. You may take that and add it to your home. So anyway.
That's it. We got Sister Aya here. Praise Yah. Bless you, sister.
Yeah,
bless the house of Brother Temu.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Caller Obame. I think I'm saying that right.
Obama?
Shalom, Elder.
No, Obama. Okay.
And Deacon Saints of the Most High Yah. Bless you, sister. Got this one. Derek Jennings. Christianity is the way, nothing else. Well, I don't know about all that.
No, he probably is that a mistake? Christian is the way.
He might be a Christian here watching this stuff. So.
Nothing else really. Well, prove that to me if that's true, but it could be a typo. I like to think it's a typo. I'm assuming the best.
Yeah, I don't know this name, so
yeah, okay then.
Yeah.
Well, prove that to me. Go.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got here, Elder. Yeah, it was a good show. Any closing words, Elder? Go ahead.
Well, guys, hey, like I said, it's glad to be back. I mean, literally, it's been I've been on the road. I got back last week. Been dealing with a lot of different things, but like I said, it's just good to be a part of this ministry. I'm thankful for Straightway Truth Ministry. I'm thankful for Pastor Dow, Pastor Corey, Pastor Daniel Meir, all the elders that I worked with, the teachers, the deacons like Deacon David, Deacon Samuel, and all the other deacons in the ministry. I'm just thankful. I'm very thankful for this ministry. And like I said, guys, I do not miss Christianity one bit. I see it so clear now. It's so clear when I see Christianity. It's death. Sometimes I'm in awe, and I shouldn't be, but sometimes I am in awe how blinded I was once. So I used to think that was it. I knew there was something missing, but I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And now that I come here, I don't feel there's nothing missing. I feel like, man, there's more to eat off. Man, it's so much. I mean, like I'm full. Like I'm so full, and there's still food to eat, and I can't even eat the food that I want to eat because I'm so full on the word. Sometimes I can be overwhelmed when Jesus says that the drink. He says you're gonna go to this well. He told the woman at the well, you're gonna go in there. You're gonna drink, and you're gonna thirst again. But the water that I give, you would never, ever thirst again. And I can honestly say, almost 6 years of being part of Straightway, I have yet to experience any type of drought, any type of thirst. It's so much. And I'm so thankful for this ministry. And so if you are somebody that's listening to this stuff and you are laden and burdened and you feel like you're not being fed, wherever you at, Straightway Truth Ministry is the place you will be fed. If you are teachable, if you truly seek the truth, you will be fed. So anyway, I hope you guys understand. For you guys that's been in this ministry, we are very fortunate. We are blessed. Don't take it for granted. Don't be so sure of yourself lest you fall. And if you're part of this ministry, be very, very wise in what you guys are doing out there. Not everybody's going to, we may not see everything, but Yah sees everything. And I'm telling you, this is not the ministry that you want to mess with. This is not the ministry you want to lie to your leaders. This is not the ministry you want to live in. Bro, Yah will bring judgment on people. We have seen it, guys. I have seen this. I've never seen the type of judgments in other ministries like I see in this ministry. Never, ever. When people go reprobate, when people come in who came in this way and then go back and never to return again and to go reprobate, bro, that is for real, the stuff you read in the books. So just want to encourage you guys. This is the way. I know they call it a cult. No one has a definition for cult. We looked it up, but I'm glad to be a part of this cult. And until somebody can give me a definition why this cult is a bad thing, please let me know. Give me a better option then. And I'll be the first one. If it's truth, if it leads to life, I'll be the first one to jump off this ship and go there. But I doubt it. I won't find it. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you very much. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Do a quick announcements here real quick. Saints, don't make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you remember to visit straightway.com for more resources and newsletters. If you're interested in fellowship with Straightway, you can call the dining hall and ask for Elder Becker. The number is 615-688-3025. Again, if you would like to join in fellowship with Straightway in your local areas, make sure to call the dining hall and ask for Elder Becker. Number to call is 615-688-3025. You can also visit straightway.com for more contact information. Hallelujah. And that's it, Elder.
Well, guys, if you guys have anything that you guys are interested in, just by the word relation in a relational manner that you guys would like to hear us to talk about, help us out. Give us some ideas. But we do have the Most High always giving us, ideas of what to talk about. So, but if you guys have anything that you guys are interested in, want to learn more about, like men leaders, how to lead your home, women being in their role, men being in their role, how to deal with children. I mean, we can talk about so many different things. So anyway, it's always a joy to speak to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming Shabbat. Shalom, shalom.